everybody.
Hey!
I have several jokes for all of you. Let's begin. I'm shy. I feel like I should get that out of the way. I'm sort of just nervous all the time. I think the best way to describe it is like my perfect social day is basically you walk your dog, you go get coffee, and then like tie it up while you go inside, and then I pet your dog while you're gone, and then leave before you get back. That's like my perfect day. Because like if you come back and there's all this small talk that is terrifying. Like if it's a small talk what I wanted, it would be more like, do you always get coffee at the same time every day? Do you always bring your dog? But instead, it's more like, what's his name? And then they're like, oh, her name. And what's, screw the whole thing, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I misgendered your dog. Goodbye forever. Dogs are just so cool, and they're all attached to people, and it's the tragic flaw of dogs. Every cat person that's ever heard me talk about dogs has been like, oh, you've just never met my cat. That's what'll take you over to our team. My cat is like a dog. You'll love him. And I'm just like, you know what else is like a dog? Is a dog. Just get a dog. I'm not going to roll the dice on the one cat that's cool. Just going to cut out the middleman here and just get some pure uncut dog. It'll be great. Cats basically fall into two categories. The first is just like a high roll with legs. And then the second type is just a weird like prank bro that spends the entire time around your house just like pouncing on you around corners, just like, yeah, I gotcha! Oh man, if you were smaller, I totally would have killed and eaten you. Lucky you, you're not small. So anyway, I'm gonna go hide again, and I will see you next time you try to go anywhere in the house that you own. If tomorrow every pet suddenly learned how to open doors, dogs are the only ones who would stay. And I feel like that means they're the only pets and the rest of them are just prisoners. Like, cats would leave very quickly, birds would leave instantly. Like birds you have to keep in a tiny cage within the larger cage to get to your house just to keep them at bay. Like anytime they get out of the tiny door and like make a break for it, they end up in like the corner of one of your ceilings. It's just like, I still live here, I guess, but like you're not the boss of me anymore. Fish would probably need a little bit more info than just like, I open the door. Need slightly more help than that, but if you gave them like a fish, like a hamster ball full of water, then they'd leave. Snakes would probably stay, fair enough, audience. If you're like one of the 12 ponytails left in the country that still has a snake for a pet, then your snake would probably stay in your house. But it's not because it likes you, it's just because there's like a lamp there. My favorite story from my neighborhood in Boston is that I was driving home one day and I drove by this guy who was about to get on his bike for his like ride home from the store or wherever, and he was wrapping his pet snake around the handlebars of his bike just for the commute home. At no point in that was the snake like, what an adventure world! This is so us. This is just classic us. The most a snake has ever felt is like, I guess this is happening. Having a snake for a pet is just like having a statue that you have to feed mice to once a month. That's all it is. Just like a horrible piggy bank for mice. You just keep dropping mice into it, and at the end you're like, how do I still have no mice? We got, this past winter in my house, we got clothes moths in our house, which is probably the worst thing to have living in your house. We didn't get them like as a pet, they just are somewhere. We also currently have mice in our house, which is not a big deal. Like, if you have a mouse in your house, it is barely a problem. Like, living with a mouse is just like living with a super polite, super shy roommate that just like shares the same common areas with you. That's all. Anytime you even see a mouse in your house, the mouse is just like, I am so sorry you saw me. my room, we are both mad about this. It's more complicated when a pest eats your clothes, because then it's like there's a bunch of tiny goats in your house, or like all the house of what not to wear live in your walls, and every now and then they just show up just like, that has to go, and that has to go, and that has to go. The internet has a lot of different ideas for how to get rid of clothes moths, a lot of different solutions, and the first one that I read is that you can just like clean all your clothes very thoroughly and then like clean every corner of your house, and I was like, that sounds stupid, what else you got? My favorite one that I read is that you can get a bunch of wasps. That was a real solution. There's a specific species of wasp apparently that will lay their eggs in the eggs that the moths have already laid on your clothes, and then that was the end of that solution on the internet. That's not an explanation. It's a bigger problem, arguably. Then I have to fight my way to my computer to Google how do I get rid of all these wasps in my house. And I know it'll just be like get a bunch of wolverines. That's all for me, guys. Go there.